that risk, that whatever kind of risk, but risk is risk. But why does somebody take a risk? It's only because they have a sheer belief that they can do it. So right now I've taken a risk and started something which is only 3 months old, Dasham Labs. But there is a very strong sense of self-belief that I'll make it. And even if I consider a worst possible scenario that I don't make it, I'll still find a job. So if you don't take risks, you don't move forward. And sometimes we overestimate the risk. That, so like when I was quitting my job and starting this, quitting my previous handsome paying job and having good returns, good money flowing in, many people asked me, and even I was in dilemma that why are you doing this? But there is a firm belief that I have that if you are capable, if you have the potential, then try and do something for this world. Otherwise, what's the point? Money everybody will earn, you will make ends meet. But if you really believe you have a potential, then you go and make a difference in this world. So, with that idea is what I started Dasham Labs and said, okay, घर का खर्चा तो निकाल देंगे किसी ना किसी तरह. So, yes. Second one is truth, it's more about risk and self-belief and believing in the idea of making a difference. The second one, I bought a house at 2.5 crores which was worth 4.5 crores. Things don't work for you, but when it works you don't realize. So I still don't believe that I live in that house. I've got a beautiful house with a terrace, penthouse, everything. I didn't earn that much money, but I still own that house simply because of luck. But beyond luck, it was just belief that things will work out. So when I started searching for the house, my budget was 2 crores. And somebody was selling this particular apartment at a distress sale. So there was a builder who went bankrupt and he started selling the apartment. There were about 30 apartments which had a terrace and penthouse. He started selling the apartment at half the cost. On 20th June, I started searching for the house on 25th June. By 31st July, all the houses were sold and I was one of them. I got the registry of the house done in 5 months. And on the 6th month, the government put a hold on the registry of the house, of these 30 houses, because these were disputed. I was so lucky that the other 25 people who didn't get the registry of the houses are still stuck. And it's been 2.5 years. I still cannot believe my luck. So the lesson that I'm trying to, and I was very scared when I was buying that house, I do my money stuck, etc. And I had put in all the money that I had there. So just believe, keep working. Sometimes things don't work, but you got to get up every morning. Believe in the timing of the universe. Trust that it will work. What you got to make sure that you're putting in the right effort, right? You have to believe that you're putting in the right effort. Your intentions are right. Now the first one, which everybody said is the truth. Yes, it's the truth. But I share a more personal story. How my trajectory changed and how inspiration or certain drive to do something makes you achieve greater things. So this was early childhood. I was not so good in studies. Maths, physics was like completely out of my league. But my mother used to be very sick. She was practically in the hospital for like 6 months a year. This is what I'm talking about when I was 10, 11 years old. So, and she was really depressed, very irritated that she's hardly at home. So I asked her one day that, what will make you happy? She just said one thing and stayed with me for a long time and still stays, that I want you to do academically well at school. I said, okay, padhna hai, padh lenge. But that changed the whole trajectory of my life. I suddenly started doing well. I come from a Marwadi family जहाँ पर simple route होता है BCom करो, धंधा join करो. And suddenly a teacher comes and says, Ankit, you are good at maths and science. I started doing well. And he said, you should go and aim for IIT. I said, sorry, IIT. I had no clue what IIT was. Not even any of my family members or friends. So then my father started inquiring and then he said, अच्छा ये तो big deal है. And then obviously the story happened that I went to Kota and cracked it. But the motivation was only that, if I do well, my mother will be happy. So the lesson that I'm trying to find that motivation within you to drive you forward. It drove me forward much further ahead. I mean, the trajectory changed. I think if that didn't had happened, and probably I would be in my father's business. Still might be doing okay, but not standing here for sure. So trust, find that driving force within you. It takes you much farther ahead. So these are 3 anecdotes, 3 lessons which I thought I should share with you. These are more philosophical, but I'm just sharing my personal story, and hopefully it motivates you. That's what my aim was. I can share more stories, but I'll briefly give you what I have done in the last 10-12 years in my professional career. And maybe you can ask some questions around that. So, my professional career has revolved around commercializing innovations in the healthcare energy efficiency space. So I was part of a company which was making something called phase change materials. These are materials which change phase from solid to liquid or liquid to solid. Your water, आप freezer में रखते हैं वो आइस बन जाता है, बाहर निकालेंगे फिर पानी करते हैं. Water behaves in that manner at 0 degree Celsius. We made materials which behaved like water and ice at different temperatures. So जैसे यहाँ पे भी temperature शायद 30 degree. I had a 35 degree material. So अगर मैं glass में यहाँ रखूँ तो freeze हो जाए. So these materials had applications wherever you need temperature control and you don't have electricity available, or you want to do it in a more energy efficient. COVID के time सबने COVID vaccine सुना होगा. COVID vaccines needed to be transported at the right temperature to 8 degrees Celsius, negative 20 degrees Celsius. We used to provide those solutions. So my story is that I joined this company when they had just received funding from Tata Capital, and they had few products at the lab stage. First one was a medical device. The second one was vaccine transport device, vaccine transportation at the right temperature. The third was related to building energy efficiency. So my whole career revolved around taking this from a lab stage to really taking it to the market. So the first one, medical device, was actually for a baby which suffers from birth asphyxia. 3 Idiots movie सबने देखी होगी, वो बच्चा रुकता नहीं है. That is a birth asphyxia condition. In that particular condition, you have to cool the baby. Normally you keep the baby warm, but here you cool the baby. The only device available in the country to do that treatment was 25 lakhs. We made the device using phase change material and brought down the cost from 25 lakhs to 2 lakhs. Till date, it is the only equipment available to do cooling treatment in India. There are about 1,000 devices available in the country. Now you may think this is a very successful story. It's actually a big failure. And I leave that as a question for you to ponder why I say it's a big failure. And it has been my biggest failure in my career. Although we saved a lot of lives, but we could have done much more. So it's the biggest failure. Till date, nobody else has the device. The second one was obviously vaccine transportation. It was the most successful product. In fact, during COVID times, unfortunately not in India, but we sold a lot in Europe and US. But Indian government ने नहीं खरीदा, क्योंकि उनको बर्फ डाल के भेजना. But we were the exclusive partners for distribution of Sputnik vaccines. So we provided the packaging solutions for Sputnik vaccines. So again, taking from a lab stage, एक छोटा डब्बा था, to various products, commercializing it. While I was part of this company as an employee, I ended up investing in the company. Again, putting all my savings. So 2016 में मेरी शादी हो रही थी. मैंने 80% पैसा कंपनी में लगा दिया, 20% पैसा हनीमून में लगा दिया न्यूजीलैंड जाकर. Back to zero. So unfortunately, I sometimes think यार मैं बार-बार back to zero क्यों हो जाता हूँ, but that's how I am. But 2016 was a scene that where I put in all my savings in my wife and in the company. And but fortunately it worked out well. I have done, we were able to scale the company, make it profitable. It was acquired by Murugappa Group in 2021. I sold my stakes then. That's when I bought my house. And continued to stay with the company. We took it international. We started the company in Europe. We appointed partners in US. We licensed technologies in South Africa. So one hell of an experience all through. In between, I also ran a health food cafe with my wife, which was kind of okay, but COVID happened and we had to shut it down. So this has been my professional journey. But I think in India, there is a big gap when it comes to an Indian perfume brand. There are some deodorant brands, but when it comes to an Indian perfume brand, there is a big gap. The generation today, when you guys are more aspirational, you will prefer a good quality perfume at a decent price, not an exorbitant price and like but branded Indian. हम लोग पूजा में चढ़ाते थे ना इतर ब्रांड से लॉन्च करते हैं. There will be a recall. You can sell it online. You can read the story about boat. How did boat start? Boat is very popular. Everybody, half of you would probably have boat earphones, right? But boat started with the simple idea that this earphone is very cheap to make, quality. In India, audience is aspiring, and we give them a good design, good product, aspiring product, which they would want to own. So I personally don't understand branding. I'm not the person on Instagram or Facebook, etc. But I genuinely feel if somebody launches a perfume brand on Amazon, good, nicely branded Indian brand, it will fly off the shelf. So you can take inspiration from both and how they have done it. This one, perfume, which is a simple brand thing that I spoke about. Another startup which I am personally working on under our venture studio, and I can share that. I can't share certain things because of confidentiality reasons, but we are working on an eye device. So सबको कैटरैक्ट के बारे में पता है? Most people, old age people have it. Like after 55, 60, will have cataract. But today, if you have to detect cataract, you have to go to a proper eye clinic. Right? A regular पास वाले आँख में शॉप पे जाके तो होगा नहीं. A regular जनरल ऑप्टोमेट्रिस्ट के पास भी जाके होगा नहीं. You have to go to a eye clinic, proper eye clinic. or not within a minute. I don't know whether we launched this in the market or not, we are still evaluating. But if you guys can think of the business model around this, please feel free to reach out. The idea is, the whole problem statement is, can we make cataract diagnosis easy? Can your next door optician detect cataract? But think about it, will the next door optician keep this device? The device costs 2.5 lakhs. And आपको चश्मा आप कभी शॉप पे गए होंगे तो that device costs 5 lakhs. Giving your device at 2.5 lakhs, which will not only tell you what your power is, but it will also tell you whether you have cataract and a couple of other diseases. Something called keratoconus, but आपको समझने की जरूरत नहीं. But the big question is, will your optician keep it? Regular eye clinic won't buy it. They have all the private device. Will a tier 3, tier 4 ophthalmologist keep it? So I am in Sirsa day after tomorrow meeting some ophthalmologists trying to figure this out. The point that I am trying to make here is, this is a good innovation, but it may not come to market if you don't pick up the right business model. You as BBA students need to think about the business model. I personally still don't have any answer. I don't know. So think about it. If your optician even detects cataract, what will he do? He can do it. Today when he tells you what power it is, he can give you glasses. But if he detects cataract, what do you do? This is another thought experiment against the virus and bacteria in the room. So, the chances of a viral fever spreading or a COVID spreading reduces dramatically. And you have clean air around. But how will you market this product? क्योंकि डिवाइस पे तो दिखता नहीं है ना वायरस मान लीजिए. तो आप बोलोगे मैं तो अंकित पे विश्वास नहीं कर रहे हैं. क्यों विश्वास कर रहे हैं? No, nothing. No, nothing. It has been tested. So there has been solutions which say that plasma-based releases ozone and stuff. I'm not getting technical. This product solves all that problem. But right now the problem is everybody is selling air purifier. मैंने 3 दिन गूगल सर्च करके सीख लिया एयर प्यूरिफायर कैसे बनता है. It's that simple. एक्वा फिल्टर मिलता है मार्केट में, ले लो, असेंबल कर लो, एयर प्यूरिफायर बनता है. You can make an air purifier tomorrow. But this is an air purifier. It's a genuine air purifier. But how do you solve the business problem? Because if I go and sell to your director, हाँ ठीक है आ गया कोई, पता तो नहीं चलता ना वायरस से बैक्टीरिया से. It's an unknown thing. Again, a good innovation required for the world public. But how do you solve it? Again.
Who has your business? If you want some tips or tricks for expansion, anybody? Anyone? Yeah, please ask.
I have a business idea and I'm just curious about something. You mentioned that your first idea on the cool down was a fail. Why was it a fail and how
Good.
did you
Can you please be quiet?
So, why was it a failure? So in business, remember one thing. If you don't have consistent revenues, it's not a business. Right? So when I said the only competing product was 25 lakhs. Our product was 2 lakhs. We sold 1,000 devices. We made 20 crores. I don't think we didn't make a loss. We made profits on that. But the challenge was, once I sold the product, the hospital never came back to me. So even in 2015, when I sold the first product, till date that hospital hasn't gotten back to me to buy anything else. He made the product so good. Product was so good, nothing happened to it. It just works and works and works. So either I should have priced the product at 5 lakhs, or there has to be some sort of consumable, some sort of engagement with that. Doctors love the product. एक बार करेंगे कुछ करना नहीं है, बड़ा है प्रोडक्ट, 2 लाख का प्रोडक्ट 10 साल चल रहा है. It's crazy. मेडिकल में ऐसा होता नहीं है. Now what it resulted in was, and this is where most people when they look at social impact innovation, they say यार हम तो समाज का भला करते हैं. देखो आप समाज का भला तभी कर सकते हो जब मैक्सिमम लोगों के पास पहुंच पाओ. एक तो कोई समाज का भला नहीं करता, ये मिथ में मत. तो अफोर्डेबल बना दिया, मुझे भी लगा था मैं समाज का भला कर रहा हूँ, मैं ही कुछ देखूँ पर मैंने कोई समाज का भला नहीं किया, बिकॉज वी कुड ओनली टेक इट टू 1000 devices. Reason, we didn't generate enough profits to go and sell it in so many other countries. We have a global patent. कोई है ही नहीं, पूरे वर्ल्ड में कोई नहीं है, बट मेरे पास इतने पैसे है ही नहीं कि मैं दूसरे मार्केट में जाके बेच सकूँ. Because I needed that kind of money. If I couldn't sell it in Africa, in Thailand, in डिमांड है, बट मैं डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर ही पॉइंट कर रहा हूँ. डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर बोल रहा मैं क्यों बेचूँ, एक बार बेच दूँ उसका तो कोई रेवेन्यू ही नहीं है, मैं क्यों बेचूँ. हमने ग्लोबल लाइसेंसिंग करना चाहा तो बिगर मल्टीनेशनल, इससे बाइनरी सेल इट, इसका मार्केट साइज ही बहुत छोटा है. आपने ऐसे प्राइसिंग कर दी, ऐसा प्रोडक्ट बना दिया, इतना अच्छा बना दिया क्या आपने प्राइसिंग इतनी खराब कर दी. इट डजंट वर्क. So I still believe we've saved many babies. Right? Easily the figure is about 1.5-2 lakhs. But we could have saved millions across the world. It could have been a global product. But it is not. Simple business model mistake. And I got a lot of recognition for that product. I company, lot of credibility. But it was a waste. I still believe it was my biggest
I have a question, sir. Now, is that product, is there any other competitor in the market with that product? Nobody else. Okay, why not you come with some more addition to the product and relaunch the product with a more, so to say, maybe to the distribution?
You're right. We could have done that, but by that time the company had taken other products as priority. It was more about what organization needs, right? So, and also by the time we realized, it's also about timing. By the time we realized we have made such a big mistake, the word was out in the market. So, doctors are a very egoistic community. I'm sorry if somebody's father or mother is a doctor, but that's how the community is. उनको change पसंद नहीं. तो मैंने ऑलरेडी जब 1.5 लाख से 2 लाख प्राइस किया था, बिकॉज वी स्टार्टेड रियलाइजिंग कि यार इतने सस्ते में तो नहीं होगा. लॉट ऑफ डॉक्टर्स लिटरली कॉल्ड मी एंड थोड़ी हो गई थी बात, क्या कर रहे हो. बट yeah, so your question, we could have done it. The company had other priorities. We had launched the vaccine product. It was working fine. Also, I think we could have realized it a little earlier. Then the timing would have been better. तब तक market में damage.
Please, just give us some kind of idea as well as can do this.
Somebody had a question there.
Anybody have a question here?